My impressions, first and foremost, are probably seeing a really younger generation of kids, which is really cool. Maybe some of these kids have parents that came to see Nevermore back in the day when we were together or something, but yeah, that's really cool to be able to play for a younger generation of kids. Seeing a lot of young kids, like 15, 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids, so to be able to play for them is just awesome.
And concerning the bands that are around, that are within this Euroblast concept, which is around this, what do you think about that kind of...
this whole gent style of music? I think it's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Just absolutely love the style. I love the style of the music. I'm a big fan of like Tesseract and Scar Symmetry and Periphery, bands like this. I think it's very exciting, you know. I'm also a Meshuggah fan too, so to be able to be a part of this, even though I'm not necessarily rooted in that style of music, I'm more of a straight metal guy, I still love to, you know, be a part of this whole thing. It makes me happy. It's a journey of guitar riffs, you know what I'm saying? It's something that I spent a lot of time on, more so than my first record. I simply had more time to really do it, you know. I wasn't in Nevermore anymore when I composed it, so literally woke up for, you know, 3 months every morning just composing riffs and compiling all these riffs together, and just it really makes for a very, very diverse record, I think, you know. There's a lot of old school thrash kind of stylings going on from my influences of like Testament and stuff like that, combined with guitar shred kind of stuff. So really it's just a very diverse record filled with guitar riffs and very cool vocals as well.
Yeah, that's special about this record. It's not a pure guitar work, but you have also round up songs with great vocals.
Yeah, exactly. We got 2 different vocalists on the record. Christine Rhodes, who sang on a couple of tracks. Some people might remember her singing on some early Nevermore music. Dreaming Neon Black, she sang backup vocals on that particular song. Excellent voice. Excellent voice. And also we have another artist by the name of Isan who sang on a track called Surrender, and he just adds an insane intensity to that particular track, you know. He basically made that track come together and make it come alive. So I'm very proud of that work too. Chris I met a few times at some local music what do you call it? Music conventions, like the NAMM show in Anaheim, which they hold every year. I believe I met him there and asked him if he'd be a part of the record, and he said, "Sure, man, anytime. Just, you know, call me up." And so that's exactly what I did. I called him up and I just asked him if he would play a solo on one of the songs that I have called Continuum Drift. And it's the same thing with the other 2 guitarists, Marty Friedman and Tony McAlpine, who are huge influences on my playing growing up as a kid. So to be able to have all 3 of these amazing talents on my record is something that's just incredible to me. So that's like, thank you, you know, it's really cool. Jason Becker was always a favorite of mine. Yeah, I grew up in the whole shred era, you know. I'm a little older, man. I'm the oldest guy in this tour, man. I'm 41, so I grew up in the 80s, the whole shred era of guitar where Yngwie was like king, you know, and started listening to him, and that's what really got me into the whole, you know, general vibe of guitar, you know. I love the melodicness and fastness of all that stuff. So and then it turned into Marty Friedman and Jason Becker, and I just can't say enough about those 2 cats. They're highly influential on the way I play guitar. So it's too early to tell, really, because I really haven't gotten that far yet. I'm really realistically touring on this album, Plains of Oblivion, right now, and taking my time with that and seeing how far that's going to take me. So far we've done quite well. I mean, I've already done 2 US tours, and I'm doing this tour, which lasts until November 18th, and I'm doing 1 other tour later next year, so 4 tours altogether, and a bunch of guitar clinic tours as well. That's pretty damn good for a solely instrumental record, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very happy with that, man. I'm very happy I could still be out playing music for people and doing my thing. The best thing to do, I think, is for kids to get in a band and play with other musicians. You know, don't be what I call a bedroom guitarist and sit in your room all day and put yourself on YouTube. That's cool, but you know, it's better to play with other musicians and get into a band, and not to listen to just one style of music. Open up your mind and expand that, and listen to other forms of music. It'll just make you become a better musician. So those two things I think are most important.
And then practicing.
And practicing, yeah, practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Put your time in. Don't try to become good too quickly. You know, put your time in and examine yourself as a musician and how you can get better. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I don't, you know, right now it's one of those things where it was, I don't know, it was a personable thing that happened, you know, obviously, and being in a band with a bunch of guys for that long, for 18 years, is almost like, you know, it's like being in a marriage with somebody, you know. It's like you spend all your time with them on the road and on tour. And for me personally, and for the drummer, Van Williams, that was the drummer in the band Nevermore, it was our time to leave. And we just basically decided to move on and do other things, you know, and it happens. It was a healthy choice, and I'm much happier now. I wouldn't rule out a possible reunion or a festival or something like that sometime in the future, but right now I'm very happy with where I'm at, and you know, it's what it is. You know, everybody in the whole band is still doing something musical, but at the same time, it's not Nevermore.
Yeah.
So, but I don't take any of that for granted. I had a great time with Nevermore and the band, and touring all over the world more times than I can count on my fingers. I mean, I had a blast, and I don't take any of it for granted. I had a great time, and we got some great fans over the years that still are listening to what I'm doing today. So you can't frown upon that, you know.
Yeah.